Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are going to be talking about the spell Phantasmal Force. Up here right now, I have the 2014 version. We're going to be comparing and contrasting that to the 2024 version. There are some changes that have happened in Phantasmal Force. We're going to be talking if they're significant or not, if they're going to affect combat or gameplay or whatever. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, back in the day, I gave this originally an A. This is an extremely powerful spell for second level, and it is amazing. So it is a second level spell usable by bards, sorcerers, wizards, archfey, great old one genie, and the undead warlocks. So lots of different classes and class options could use this. Takes one action, 60-foot range with a 10-foot cube, verbal, somatic, and material don't care about because it's worthless. It lasts for a minute. It is concentration. That's great. Combats usually only last 3 or 4 rounds. And it is one of my favorite saving throws of all time, an intelligence save, and it does psychic damage, which is awesome because psychic damage is it's not a lot of psychic damage, but it is something that is very hard to overcome. But that is not the crux of this spell. So you can craft an illusion. The target makes the saving throw. If they fail, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than 10 foot cubed, that is perceivable only to the target for the duration, has no effect on undead or constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli, which means everything, also evident only to the creature. So you could create a 10-foot deep pit of lava, acid, tar, whatever, a gelatinous cube, which is 10 foot, and they're stuck in it, fire, an illusion of a bridge, whatever, etc., etc., etc. You know, millions of tentacles in a 10-foot area that are grabbing them and crushing them, whatever, and they will think it's real, and you should create something that will immobilize them in an area. So the target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell DC. You want your spell DC to be as high as possible, and because that is an intelligence investigation check, Warlock's Hex is magical for this because it gives them disadvantage on that. So, and then it gives some more parameters about if the target's affected. It treats the phantasm if it were real. So this is very open-ended, and that's why this spell is awesome. It leaves it up to your imagination. Target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. So it rationalizes those. Even if they are the most fantastical, illogical thing that there are, it rationalizes them as if they were real. For example, the target attempting to walk across a phantasmal bridge, which has to be 10 feet, that spans a chasm that's 10 feet, falls once it steps onto the bridge. If it survives the fall, it believes the bridge exists and comes up with some other explanation for its fall. So it was push, slip, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So an affected target is so convinced of the phantasm's reality that it can even take damage from the illusion. And it talks about the different things, but it takes a d6 of psychic damage to the target on your turn. If it is within the phantasm's area or within 5 feet of the phantasm, provided that the illusion is a creature or hazard, like a pool of acid or pool of lava that could logically deal damage. So, the new 2020, that was a lot. So the new 2024 version is very similar. There's a couple of things that change. So it's still a second level spell, one action, still 60 feet with a 10-foot cube. So that hasn't changed. Verbal, somatic, material, still lasts for a minute with concentration, still an saving throw, still psychic damage. There is a difference who can use it. Bards, sorcerers, and wizards. Okay, that is in the original 2014. Yes. Archfey. Yes. The great old one. Yes, that is there. And the undead, yes. So they're all there. They all can do it. That's great. The biggest difference between this version and the version from 2014 is that study action. So the target can take, so it's got to make this initial intelligence save, and if it fails, it's in the illusion, and it believes the illusion, and it rationalizes everything about the illusion as real. The study action, so on its turn, it can take the study action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against the spell's DC. Study action. And it is an investigation. So the study action, when you take the study action, you make an intelligence check to study your memory, a book, a clue, another source of knowledge, and call to mind an important piece of information about it. The areas of knowledge table suggests which skills are applicable to various areas of knowledge. This is investigation, so traps, ciphers, riddles, gadgetry, and phantasmal force. So it has to take this study action, which is not too terribly different than intelligence investigation. If the check succeeds, the target realizes the phantasm is an illusion and the spell ends. So, and then all the rest of the stuff is the same, except now it takes 2d8 damage on each of your turns. Such a phantasm can deal 2d8 psychic damage to the target if it is in the phantasm's area or within 5 feet of the phantasm. So it is a little bit more damage, where it was 1d6, which was 3.5 average damage. Now it's 9 damage, so it's almost 3 times as much damage. That's every turn. That's a little something that you could get. But again, you should be creating illusions that will immobilize that target. A gelatinous cube, a pool of tar, a pool of concrete, a pool of lava, things that it's going to get stuck in that it thinks it cannot get out of. Now, one of the other great things about this spell is it's 2024, which means we're going to go all the way back up because it is usable by sorcerers, who is my new favorite class in 2024. And because it is usable by sorcerers, you can use your innate sorcery to increase the DC of the spell, and increasing the DC of an intelligence saving throw by 1 is massive. It is massive. So what are we? So we're going to go back. Just because of the 2024 sorcerer, we're giving this the new version an A+, just because of that and some of the interactions. In addition, you get your meta magic feats. You can hit it with a heightened sorcery, 2 sorcery points. The saving throw is done at disadvantage. So just because the later effects are not saving throws, they are intelligence checks. That the heightened spell only affects the initial one, but still great. It's only 2 points. And if you are wild magic and you happen to have bend luck, you can take a reaction and spend 1 sorcery point to roll 1d4 and apply the number as a bonus or penalty to any d20 roll. So that includes a skill check. Well, you can do that. Now, in addition, if you are a bard who happens to be a bard of eloquence, a College of Eloquence bard, right, Chia, then you can use unsettling words, and you can subtract the number from the next saving throw it makes, so that, you know, you could use this for that initial saving throw to get this Phantasmal Force started. But it's only for saving throws as a subtraction on a creature. But it's still great, and if you happen to be a bard sorcerer, forget it. Forget it. It's awesome. Now, for wizards, because wizards can still use this, so there is the Divine Wizard, and the Divine Wizard, who the Diviner has the portent, and it can replace any d20 roll. So anytime, you know, you could say, okay, I'm going to let you do the initial saving throw on your own, and then you can replace a d20 roll, their skill check with that d20 roll. And in addition, we've got several kinds of warlocks that can use this spell. And warlocks on their own don't really have anything per se that can do different things. They've got the pact magic, magical cunning, yada, yada, yada. But what they do have is they have the hex spell. And the hex spell is mighty awesome for this because also choose one ability when you cast a spell. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with their chosen ability. So if you know you have somebody in the party that has Phantasmal Force, or you yourself have it, but remember, Phantasmal Force is concentration, so these two don't necessarily click together, because if you have them hexed, you can't cast Phantasmal Force. But if you have somebody in the party, like a Bard Sorcerer, stay tuned for the Smooth Operator, that can cast this, you can hex them, and then they will be more stuck in it than they were before. All right. That is what we have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody